what went wrong during those initial phases? Like, tell me about some of the challenges in
Oh,
that
that's
initial.
that's a great question. So, right off the rip, let's talk about the commercial side of this, right? When you work for $1 billion company with unlimited pockets, right? Equipment is easy to get, right? We've bought all of our
Oh, yeah.
assets. I got a personal guarantee on everything I've purchased, right? Sometimes I'm just shocked at how we've been able to buy all the things we bought because we don't have a VC funding. Like there's no Blackstone behind us. There's no
Angel investor,
angel
nothing.
investor giving us anything. So getting equipment was difficult. This is why we rely a lot on this faith story because it really was an act of God. So we land one of the largest accounts, and the requirement for that account was close to 100 trailers. I've contacted all the major trailer suppliers, even guys that knew me by name because we worked together in previous lives, right? But our credit, based on our history, right, our length of time in tenure, didn't afford for us to be able to take on those businesses or to land the equipment that we needed. We prayed about it, man. We went to everybody. They're like, hey, we'll give you 5 trailers. We'll give you 3 trailers. Well, it's not going to work, man. So as fate would have it, we come across a guy. He's the owner of Metro.
And
our
that
guy,
wasn't even
Tim
on.
Dean,
That wasn't even on accident. That story, that's a Friday night at 11 o'clock at night after I posted on LinkedIn looking for trailers. 'Cause we struck out. We hit all the big players. And I got a call saying, hey, we're good to say their name, right?
Yeah.
So Tim Dean, the VP at Metro Trailer, gave me his contact information. So I called Tim and we had a call on a Sunday. And I was like, hey, you and I have never spoken before. You have no idea who we are, but this is our story. And he goes, Tim, we really do need to diversify our portfolio. We do a lot for 2 or 3 customers that are Fortune 100 customers, but we need to diversify. We need to find someone that makes sense for our business that we can grow. And I said, well, I don't want to oversell what we're about to do, but I promise you, if you go meet my team, I think you're going to feel pretty good. And that's when they flew out to DFW and sat down. And before you know it, with no business credit or nothing, we're sitting on 100 trailers.
These guys on a handshake, man.
That was it, brother.
We sat there, we talked, and I wanted to show him that we were the people. It's like, look, here's our financials. You can look at our books. He's like, oh, you don't have to do that. I said, I do. I want you to see that there's nothing to be hidden here. We're 100% transparent. We're on the up and up. Here's our books. Look at our books.
And at
Here's
that
what we
time,
got.
4,000 MCs already filed bankruptcy from starting their MC in 2020. Already 4,000 by then filed bankruptcy. So we're asking, a pretty big trailer company to
big
take
leap
a
of
shot at 100. Most people we couldn't get, I think 2 of the big ones gave us 4 or 5 total. We needed 100. And they're sitting here like, well, who's the account? Which always helps when you have a Fortune 10 account paying, for the operation. But it was a handshake and faith.
That put us on the map. So there was that, and then there was us buying a few trucks, leveraging those trucks, like to buy other trucks. And before you know it, right, we were sitting at a pretty decent sized fleet, and all of it, all capital leases. We buy them, financing them, right, so that we could take some of the depreciation off of them in the future. But the hardest challenge was getting past that banking piece, right? The bank doesn't care about your pedigree. And we did that. We did right. We set up our LinkedIn profiles. We made sure everybody was polished. We looked at all our resumes, created executive summaries, told our story, had all the right materials to be able to pitch the story. But at the end of the day, when you're talking to a guy that looks at ones and zeros, he didn't care about what you look like, where you come from. He's like, this doesn't make financial sense. So I had to get past that. Well, I had to go unconventional means. I found
got some
Tim Dean
contracts.
with those guys. We did land contracts, but now to get the equipment, that was a second story. So we used the contracts to leverage with some of these other guys. I'm glad to say that today we have none of those issues because those guys that took a challenge with us that were willing to go there, we honor our word. Our word is our bond. And because they took a chance when nobody else was there, well, they're ours for life. We're going to consistently work with those same guys because they gave us a shot, right?